When dealing with a cut-in electrical box that needs to be extended to accommodate a thicker wall, such as a stucco wall, there are several methods you can employ to achieve a secure and flush installation. The key is to create a stable base for the box to sit on, ensuring it aligns properly with the finished wall surface. Here are 3 options, each with its own set of steps. Firstly, the plywood extender method. This involves using a piece of plywood to create a spacer behind the cut-in box. The steps are as follows. Firstly, cut a piece of 1/2 inch plywood slightly larger than the cut-in box itself. This will provide a sufficient surface area for secure attachment. Secondly, place the plywood directly behind the cut-in box. Align it carefully with the edges of the box to ensure even support and a consistent extension. Thirdly, secure the plywood in place. Use construction adhesive or screws to firmly attach the plywood to the existing wall. Construction adhesive provides a strong bond, while screws offer mechanical fastening for added stability. Fourthly, prepare the surface for a smooth transition. Sand the surface of the plywood until it is flush with the surrounding stucco. This step is crucial for achieving a seamless finish. Secondly, the furring strips method. This method utilizes furring strips to create a frame around the cut-in box, providing a platform for it to sit on. The steps are as follows. Firstly, install furring strips around the perimeter of the cut-in box. Use 1 inch by 2 inch furring strips, spacing them approximately 12 inches apart to provide adequate support. Secondly, secure the furring strips to the plywood wall. Use screws or nails to firmly attach the furring strips to the wall. Ensure that the strips are level and properly aligned. Thirdly, affix the cut-in box to the furring strips. Use screws or nails to attach the cut-in box to the newly installed furring strips. This creates a stable and secure mounting for the box. Fourthly, fill any gaps between the furring strips and the cut-in box. Use caulk or expanding foam to seal any gaps or openings. This helps to prevent drafts and moisture from entering the wall cavity. Thirdly, the drywall extender method. This method involves using a piece of drywall to create a spacer behind the cut-in box, similar to the plywood extender method. The steps are as follows. Firstly, cut a piece of 1/2 inch drywall slightly larger than the cut-in box. This provides a sufficient surface area for secure attachment. Secondly, apply a generous layer of drywall adhesive to the back of the drywall. This will create a strong bond between the drywall and the existing wall. Thirdly, press the drywall into place behind the cut-in box. Ensure that it is flush with the surrounding stucco to create a smooth and even surface. Fourthly, secure the drywall using screws or nails. This provides additional support and stability, ensuring that the drywall remains securely in place. Now here are some additional tips to keep in mind, regardless of the method you choose. Firstly, use a level to ensure that the extension is even. This will prevent the electrical box from being tilted or misaligned, ensuring a professional-looking installation. Secondly, sand the edges of the extension for a smooth transition. This will help to blend the extension seamlessly with the surrounding wall surface, creating a more aesthetically pleasing result. Thirdly, apply a thin layer of stucco over the extension to further secure it. This will help to reinforce the extension and create a more durable and long-lasting installation. When selecting the appropriate method for extending a cut-in electrical box in a stucco wall, it is essential to consider factors such as the thickness of the wall, the size of the electrical box, and the desired aesthetic outcome. Each of the methods described above offers a viable solution, and the choice ultimately depends on your individual preferences and the specific requirements of the project. When working with electrical components, it is crucial to prioritize safety and adhere to all applicable electrical codes and regulations. If you are not comfortable performing electrical work yourself, it is always best to consult with a qualified electrician to ensure that the job is done safely and correctly. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, provides comprehensive guidelines for electrical installations, including requirements for box fill, conductor sizing, and grounding. Familiarizing yourself with the NEC is essential for ensuring that your electrical work is up to code and safe. When selecting an electrical box, it is important to choose one that is appropriately sized for the number and size of conductors that will be entering the box. The NEC specifies minimum box fill requirements based on the volume of the box and the size of the conductors. Exceeding the box fill limits can lead to overheating and other safety hazards. When running electrical wiring through walls, it is important to protect the wiring from damage. The NEC requires that wiring be protected by conduit or other approved means when it is exposed to physical damage. Additionally, wiring must be properly supported to prevent it from sagging or becoming damaged. Grounding is a critical aspect of electrical safety. The NEC requires that all electrical boxes and equipment be properly grounded to provide a path for fault current to flow back to the source. This helps to prevent electrical shock and other hazards. When working with stucco, it is important to use appropriate tools and techniques to ensure a professional-looking finish. Stucco is a durable and versatile material, but it can be challenging to work with if you are not familiar with its properties. When mixing stucco, it is important to follow the manufacturer's instructions carefully. The correct ratio of water to stucco is essential for achieving the desired consistency and strength. When applying stucco, it is important to use a hook and trowel to create a smooth and even surface. The hook is used to hold the stucco, while the trowel is used to apply it to the wall. When finishing stucco, it is important to use the appropriate techniques to create the desired texture. There are many different stucco textures to choose from, and each requires its own set of tools and techniques. When working with electrical systems, it is essential to take precautions to protect yourself from electrical shock. Always turn off the power to the circuit you are working on before starting any work. Use insulated tools and wear rubber gloves to further reduce the risk of electrical shock. If you are not comfortable working with electrical systems, it is always best to consult with a qualified electrician. Attempting to perform electrical work without the proper knowledge and experience can be dangerous and could result in serious injury or death. In addition to the NEC, there may be local electrical codes and regulations that you need to comply with. Check with your local building department to find out what codes and regulations apply in your area. When working with electrical systems, it is important to keep the work area clean and organized. This will help to prevent accidents and make it easier to find the tools and materials you need. When you are finished with your electrical work, it is important to inspect the work carefully to ensure that it is safe and up to code. Check all connections to make sure they are tight and secure. Make sure that all wiring is properly protected and supported. If you find any problems, correct them immediately. Once you have completed your electrical work, it is a good idea to have it inspected by a qualified electrician. This will give you peace of mind knowing that your work has been done correctly and is safe. The information provided in this narration is intended for general guidance only and should not be considered a substitute for professional advice. Always consult with a qualified electrician before performing any electrical work. Electrical work can be dangerous, and it is important to take precautions to protect yourself from electrical shock. By following the safety guidelines outlined in this narration, you can help to ensure that your electrical work is done safely and correctly. In conclusion, extending a cut-in electrical box in a stucco wall requires careful planning and execution. By following the steps outlined in this narration, you can achieve a secure and professional-looking installation. Remember to prioritize safety and consult with a qualified electrician if you have any questions or concerns. This ensures that the electrical box is properly extended and secured, meeting the requirements of the stucco wall thickness and maintaining electrical safety standards.